What's up, YouTube? This is Game on Cloud 9 here, and I'm here to bring you guys a new Naruto manga 619 prediction. And man, I'm excited to do this video today because this week's Naruto chapter, if you're a Naruto fan, if you like Naruto, you cannot deny that this chapter, I don't care what y'all have thought about this war or whatnot, you have to say that at least this chapter was at least pretty good. There's no way, if you read through this entire chapter, that anyone out there can say this chapter was bad or anything like that. And so far, I've seen nothing but positive reactions from this. I mean, everything about this chapter to me was excellent. I mean, as far as the layout of everything that was going on, the explanations got right down to the point. The pacing was pretty good. You even had a little bit of sentimental value in there when you see Sasuke, of course, in the middle of the chapter, kind of looking on and looking at Konoha and trying to take everything in. And then the cliffhanger for the end was perfect. I mean, this week's chapter is something that we've all probably been wanting to see from Naruto for a long time. I mean, granted, I haven't had a lot of problems with the fourth grade ninja war or anything like that. And, but probably I'd say like probably the past few chapters, here or there's been a few slow chapters. Although I've enjoyed, a lot of it, it's nice to get some, like this chapter to me felt refreshing. I don't know if it felt refreshing to you guys out there, but the Ten Tails Obito Madara stuff, it had been going on so long. Granted, it's still going on, but we finally took a break from that. We did not see Obito at all in this week, thank goodness. We didn't see the Ten Tails, which of course I like the Ten Tails, but I think we need a little break from it. And we didn't see Madara. Instead, of course, this week's chapter focused on Sasuke, Orochimaru, of course, and the rest of Taka, except for Karin, which who knows where she is. She's supposed to be somewhere in Konoha, so she probably should show up sometime soon. But this chapter again was great. I mean, just starting off, I'm going to go have a quick synopsis of this week's chapter, and then I'm going to go ahead and give my little prediction. Now, here's the thing. Of course, the chapter starts off with us seeing Sasuke and, the rest of Taka pretty much at this temple, which we've all been wondering, what is this temple? Who is it? So we all see it is the Uzumaki clan's temple. I guess you could say that it's somewhere on the outskirts of Konoha, so, obviously it wasn't completely destroyed because Pain only destroyed Konoha. And, we can see that it's broken down, worn out, probably because the Uzumaki clan hasn't been there in forever. Orochimaru finds these different masks on these wall, and, we actually see him pick up one of the masks that looks like the Reaper Death Seal, and when we're looking at that, I'm pretty sure all of you guys out there knew already what was about to happen. And it kind of made me actually think to myself, when I saw all those masks on the wall, I wonder if there's other Reapers out there, or if they represent different sealing jutsus that the Uzumaki clan has. Which is, I'm hoping that Kishimoto, before the series ends, expands on more on the Uzumaki clan and more of their techniques. Heck, I'd like it if Naruto actually maybe learned a few of their techniques and actually, took the time to investigate more about his clan. So hopefully Kishimoto does take it in that direction, because I do think that there is still a fair amount of stuff that we do have left in the Naruto series before it ends that I think Kishimoto will cover. So hopefully, we do get to all that. But, of course, Orochimaru takes this mask, and later on, of course, we end up finding out that obviously that's connected to the scroll. Now, before I get to the scroll, we see Sasuke, of course, in the village, walking around, with Orochimaru and the rest of Taka, and they're going to the Naka Shrine, which is the Uchiha clan's little shrine that we've seen Sasuke, of course, go into before. Itachi's went in there, Obito's went in there, all the Uchiha went in there and looked at the little stone tablet. But on their way there, of course, Sasuke hops on top of this pole, and we see him looking off at Konoha. And pretty much he's just taking everything. Even Orochimaru knew that he's just taking in everything from all that he's done. Regardless of, Sasuke hating Konoha, he still was born there. He still did grow up there. So, he does, there's a part of him that, has some good memories, that does care about Konoha a little bit. You can kind of tell, which is kind of weird to hear coming from Orochimaru, because, Orochimaru, you won't really hear, say stuff like that. But I'm actually glad that we're getting this side of Orochimaru, actually, learn more about Orochimaru in terms of, how, what was his mental status, or what was he thinking as far as when he decided to go destroy Konoha the first time around. Obviously he failed, but still nice to know that there was a part of him that kind of did still care about Konoha in a way. Which I know some of you out there may not like that, because you guys think, oh, Orochimaru, he's supposed to be all evil, blah blah blah. But to me, it's good when you have villains that like, it shows that even though you have these evil characters, there's a reason for why they went evil. Because we know Orochimaru, there's a reason. Obviously, they said that one of the reasons is probably because his parents died. But hey, there may be more to it, and not only that, but it also shows that he did have a he's not all bad. Well, I'm saying Orochimaru is bad, but he did have a piece of him that still cared about Konoha at one point in time. So it wasn't just a total 180 that he made one day. So I like seeing stuff like that. And of course, when Sasuke staying on the pole, reminded me of when we saw Naruto. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys saw, when Naruto in the Homecoming chapter in the beginning of part 2, when we saw him arrive in the village, and he's talking about hasn't changed a bit, and Sasuke's talking about how it's changed a whole lot. And if anybody hasn't noticed, Obito has also had one of these moments of standing on the pole and looking on the Konoha. If you ever go back and look at a few chapters ago, when of course we got the whole Obito flashback, and when Obito first arrived back in Konoha, Obito stood on the same pole and looked on at Konoha and was taking in everything as well. So I kind of like seeing that it's kind of almost seems like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's kind of like these shinobi, regardless of what they went through, Konoha still holds a piece in their heart. I don't know. It's just, to me, I like that. But of course, we finally go ahead and see go to the Naka Shrine, all destroyed from the whole Pain invasion arc or whatnot. And we see Sasuke removes it. They go down the basement. Orochimaru goes ahead and puts the mask on. And what comes out? The Reaper Death Seal. It takes over his body, possesses his body, and Orochimaru goes on and explains the whole purpose of the scroll, as we all saw, and has the Reaper cut its stomach open, which basically breaks the seal and releases all of these souls out of it, like 4 souls and his own arms. And we all know what those 4 souls were. I mean, I'm pretty sure when y'all saw those 4 souls, before we even saw the end of the chapter, you guys had to know what was about to happen. And especially when, I was excited just the fact that his hands returned, because it's like, okay, even though Orochimaru, he still, to me, didn't seem like the strongest with his arms, I definitely do expect that he's going to get a power-up now that he has his jutsu back. Who knows how many jutsu he learned over the time skip, and maybe he just couldn't utilize them because maybe he didn't, of course, he doesn't have his arms or whatnot, so there's so much more that Orochimaru can do now, so much more powerful he can become. But anyway, Orochimaru, after that particular scene, he goes ahead and, actually revives the 4 Hokages. The 4 Hokages. Like, that particular part of the chapter, I mean, to me, that was like the manga of the week right there. I mean, I haven't seen all the chapters in terms of, I haven't seen every shonen chapter, every seinen chapter of manga that come out this week or whatnot. So for anybody out there who's probably about to sit up here and say, oh no, I disagree, it was this chapter over here or that chapter over there. Look, I'm talking about out of the big 3 because I've read the other chapters this week. And to me, personally, this made this week's chapter. I mean, to me, this chapter beat all of them. Because the cliffhanger seeing all 4 Hokages, I mean, what more can you ask for? I mean, of course, Orochimaru even said at the end of the chapter, or right before the end of the chapter, that he even has questions. So, I mean, obviously, Sasuke about to ask his questions to the Hokages. Not only that, but I presume since Orochimaru did absorb Kabuto, like he said that he did absorb, when he absorbed his chakra back in Kabuto, that he did get intel from Kabuto, so he knows all the same thing Kabuto knows. I'm pretty sure that he's probably just as good at using Edo Tensei, and maybe if not better than Kabuto right now, because Kabuto only had a little bit of his power in terms of his chakra to be able to bind the, of course, that whole Edo Tensei army. But then on top of that, he knows how to, he knows all the same things as Kabuto. So I presume he should be able to use Edo Tensei a lot better than he did before. Hopefully, being able to bring out the full potential of the Hokages if they actually enter combat. But, we're going to obviously start getting these, our questions answered about all this. I don't think that we're going to get all our answers all at once. There may be some parts that I'm thinking there's probably going to be some things that either we won't know until they're into combat, or maybe Kishimoto, for all we know, may kind of have them talk to Sasuke, but we won't see it right now. We'll see it later on in the flashback. Maybe we'll skip it and come back to it later on. Maybe next time we see Sasuke or something, he'll already have his answers. We just didn't see it yet, and maybe we'll go back and see it. But definitely, all of this was executed well. The chapter had pretty much 3 parts to it, and I feel like all 3 parts, pretty much took everything we had. Of course, we saw where they showed up at. We have, seen a little bit more of Sasuke, going through his changes as far as, his mental state, and even got to see, a little bit of how Orochimaru see things as far as, from the standpoint of where he once was and where he is now. And then on top of that, at the end of the chapter, we got the whole explanation on the Reaper Death Seal, like how it works, and we got an excellent cliffhanger which shows the Hokage's revived. Now, only question is, like I know everybody's wondering, are they going to go ahead and interfere with this battle with the Ten Tails and Madara? I definitely think it's a possibility. Before, I wasn't so sure on it, but knowing Orochimaru, he probably will end up somehow taking them there, maybe going ahead. Because I mean, I'm definitely thinking he's going to go ahead and take charge of this war in his own way. But one other thing I'm kind of wondering is going to happen. If you saw my last video, I'm definitely thinking that we're going to get maybe an Uchiha clan resurrection. Maybe after this entire talk or something, because I'm thinking Obito has a lab full of Sharingans, and Kabuto probably knew that, so Orochimaru would know it now too, and even if he doesn't, Sasuke knows that. He has an entire lab full of Sharingans. Orochimaru loves himself some Uchiha, so he could always go in that lab, grab an Uchiha, grab all those Uchiha eyes, and revive each Uchiha. Because that's a piece of DNA right there, so he could go ahead and revive like the entire clan flat out right there. So I'm looking forward. I'm hoping that happens. But even if it doesn't, I'm satisfied just with seeing for the Hokage's return right now. Obviously, Sasuke, ready to answer his questions, get his answers, and then on top of that, Orochimaru's jutsu back. He's back in his top form. And on top of that, I think he hopped into a Zetsu body, so he may even have wood style now. Who knows? I kind of found it a bit weird, for him to be able to use Sage mode though in a Zetsu body, only because when I think of a Zetsu body, those Zetsu bodies kind of seem fodderish, or they don't really seem like they would be that strong. So I couldn't see that really being a good substitute for him finding maybe another type of body or something like that. So I don't know if Orochimaru. I don't know how often he can change bodies. I don't think he can change it that often, but hopefully, maybe he can find another host or something like that, because I'm hoping that, well, obviously he's not going to be weak. I'm definitely thinking that he's going to, get back into shape and get some kind of power up sometime soon. But in the next couple chapters, we probably, of course, we may see the Hokages give some of the answers, but then some of them may be omitted. I don't think Kishimoto's going to give all the answers at one time. And, eventually, maybe in the next, I'd say, I don't know, because I'm this whole Ten Tails battle is going on, so I definitely think, I know a lot of people are wondering if Hashirama versus Madara is going to go on. There's a good chance of that as well. So it's kind of hard to call where Kishimoto is going to go with all this, but there's so many different possibilities. And I'm like, they could head right to the battlefield right now and them just beat Madara out, because Madara could escape. Obito's got to die pretty soon, and and the Ten Tails third form is coming pretty soon, so I'm kind of doubtful whether or not they're going to fight Madara right now, but so much stuff can happen, guys. I mean, I know this prediction is a little bit all over the place, but this chapter is one of those type of chapters to where, so much potential rises from it, and you look at, all the potential routes that the writer can take, and it's kind of hard to just pull out one particular route that I think indefinitely that's going to happen. So I do think that of course we're going to get our answers. We may get a few of them right now, but I don't think that we're going to get all of them at one time, because if they know all this different information, I mean, they may say it to Sasuke, but we may go back to the whole Obito fight, and then later on maybe Sasuke will be fighting Naruto and he'll tell him some of this stuff, or maybe the Hokages will say it later on, or maybe we'll just Sasuke will be walking along, maybe heading to fight Naruto, and then he'll have a flashback thinking back to those moments, and then we'll see the flashbacks then, who knows. And if we get them all at one time, that's great too. But anyway, these are pretty much my thoughts on this week's Naruto chapter. Please let me know what you guys think about this week's Naruto chapter. So if you liked this particular review/prediction, please put a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, you guys, you can go ahead and put a thumbs down if you want to. The choice is yours. Also, don't forget to go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my content and you would like to see more. Thank you for watching. I'll see you